Hey, those of you who are here already know I'm Dean Van Warmer. I'd like to thank anyone else who's watching this video for joining and taking a look inside my college career, because that's what I'm going to cover in this presentation today. So my goal today is to share with you my college career as I have went through it over the last 2 decades. I want to work with some props today to work on my presentation skills in that manner. And I'm going to get started on talking about how I am a lifelong student. So I started my college career actually while I was in high school. Then I earned a certificate. Then I went on to achieve my associate's degree. And I'm currently wrapping up a bachelor's degree so I can start on my master's in education this coming fall.
You said that you are a lifelong student. Do you think you will always be taking college classes?
Yeah, Steve, that's a great question. I feel I'm always going to take college classes. Just as being an instructor and being in the automotive industry in general, you've got to stay up to date on what's going on in the automotive industry, staying up to date with the current products that are coming out. And I've just always been somebody who has wanted to consume knowledge, so to speak. So even in my 4 hour commute that I take on a daily basis, I'm plugging into podcasts, listening to stuff, trying to stretch my brain every chance I can get instead of just listening to music. That's just kind of where my mindset is at. So let's dive into this career path that I've been on, or should I say my college career path that I've been on. It all began in high school for me. I was signed up for some metal shop classes that the instructor had left over the summertime, and I was just dropped right into some automotive classes at the local community college. So I didn't even realize that it was part of a different school district that I was working through called Core ISD, which covers 4 counties, and we'll dig into that a little bit later as that applies to my future as well. But in 1999, I graduated high school. I had 3 classes, I believe it was, earned credit at the local community college there, and I decided I was going to go to Chicago to Universal Technical Institute. I had myself all signed up, ready to go, had a roommate and everything. And right before it was about time to leave to go to Chicago, I met the woman that's now my wife and fell in love and decided I did not want to leave the area. I wanted to stay in the community. So I took those classes that I had from Kirtland Community College and applied them to Kirtland Community College so that way I could have a leg up already and start my education. So once I got into Kirtland Community College, I was able to join the golf team, which was really cool. I greatly enjoyed being on the golf team. I met some really great individuals. We were able to play a lot of beautiful golf courses here in northern Michigan, and it was just a really great time to be able to have that opportunity to play golf for the college team. Now, that was the end of my college sports career. After I had been there for 2 years, taking classes a little hit and miss because I was designing my own schedule because I was still working a full-time job, and being on the golf team, I didn't have a lot of extra time, so I was dragging my college career, my 2 year college career, I guess I should say, to 3 years. And my academic advisor told me the one day, he's like, listen, Dean, you want to go be a service technician, right? And if you take these 19 credit hours next semester, you can be done and you can hit the field running. So I did. I took those 19 credits hours that final semester. I took all 8 ASE tests and got my ASE master certification, and I joined the workforce. I started working at Hart Buick GMC, and I loved it. It was really great. After 15 years of doing that, I decided that that was enough and found myself heading back to school
Why
again.
did you decide to go back to college as an adult?
Oh, thanks, Becky. I decided to go back to college as an adult because it was required, right? So I was working at Kirtland Community College as an adjunct instructor, and I didn't have the degree that was required necessarily to have that job, but with the networking that I'd done with them and the training of internships that I'd done for the college, as a dealership technician. I had built a rapport. They understood where I was at with things and that I would be a good instructor. So I found myself taking one college course per semester to finish up that associate's degree that I was advised not to get those several years previously. And it was a really neat experience. It allowed me to see things from the student perspective again, as I'd been out of the classroom as a student for 15 years. And one of the things that I really enjoyed was the camaraderie I was building with my students that I had in my class as we went to the other side of campus and took some of the same classes together. It was a very unique situation. So 4 years later, I left Kirtland Community College, right? Well, took that hat off, and I found myself starting the bachelor's degree program at Ferris State University and became a Bulldog. Now, the reason I ended up at Ferris to start my bachelor's is because I was told while I was at Kirtland I needed to get a bachelor's degree so I could go up the rung and take over for the director when he retired. I looked at a few different colleges. There's not a lot of bachelor's degree automotive management programs in the country, to be honest with you. And I only know of two that are in our state right now. And Ferris was the best choice for me. I thought it was a really great fit. They had a program that I really liked when I looked at it, and that actually led me to start working there. So I love my job there. It's been great. And 3 years after starting that, I was approached by Core ISD. I mentioned them earlier. That was the high school program that I had attended, and they were moving their program. They were parting ways with that local community college, Kirtland, and they needed to develop a whole new program. They were looking to expand a building, and I was the guy for the job, I guess, at that point. So I told them I would give them 1 year. I went in there and worked with them for 1 year, developing their automotive program amongst a few other programs, cosmetology, welding, public safety. And it was just a really cool thing to do. That led my education path to go to Northwood University, that other school that I just mentioned, right? Northwood had an applied management program that...
What made you choose to take classes at another school?
Thanks again, Becky. I chose to take the classes at Northwood as they had a program that was going to be faster for me to take. So just trying to get that education done as fast as I could. At this point, I was 40 years old, and I didn't want to go to school for the rest of my life necessarily to get that bachelor's degree. So they had the quickest path that I could find. They actually had a bunch of prior learning credits that I was able to do. I wrote a couple portfolios and was able to get credit for 4 classes within 1 semester. So that really accelerated me as opposed to taking that 1 class per semester. Quadrupled the rate that I was getting my education done at that point. So after having that program up for 1 year, I went back to Ferris State and I transferred to the AMGT program again that I was in. So that was a really cool way to...
a degree quicker if you would have stuck with going to just one university.
Yeah, Steve. If I would have stuck with Ferris State to begin with and not bounced around, I definitely would have got my degree done a lot quicker. It drug it out. Almost every time I switched schools, I was also doing a job change, so I was taking a semester off to get my bearings and get everything set back in place. So that's led me to also take summer classes to try and get caught up. I've been taking classes through American Public University and transferring those credits to Ferris as they have an accelerated summer program where I'm able to do 8
What classes do you plan to take next?
The classes that I plan to take next will be based off of my master's degree. So I'm currently applying to join the master's degree program at Ferris State this fall in education, and I'm really looking forward to getting those classes rolling and getting that master's degree finished. as soon as possible as well.
Do you ever wish that you would have continued your education from the start instead of working at the dealership?
Yeah, Becky, it would have been great if I would have just at least got that associate's degree done, not to mention getting the bachelor's degree done. So I push my students that I currently have right now to go for their bachelor's degrees. There's some of them that come into Ferris, they want to do a 2-year program, and well, maybe I'll come back and take classes later. It's like, no, hunker down and get it all done now. You'll really, really appreciate that in the future. So thank you so much for your time today. That concludes my education for now anyways. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Thank you.